The Panic of 1907. How one crisis changed America. The day everything went wrong. Picture this. It's New York City on October 22nd, 1907. A crowd made up of thousands of people has gathered outside the Knickerbocker Trust Company building. They're screaming and shoving, trying to get inside. Some are crying, while others are waving their bank books in desperation. Why? Because they want their money back before it's too late. So, what does that actually mean? Inside the bank, chaos reigns. Tellers are handing out cash as quickly as they can, but it's disappearing fast. By noon, they've paid out $8 million, which was a huge amount back then. But soon enough, the money runs dry, and the bank president, Charles Barney, steps outside to face the crowd. With a pale face, he announces, the bank is temporarily suspending operations. The doors slam shut, and the crowd outside goes wild. People pound on the doors, and some even throw rocks at the windows. The police try to break up the chaos, but it doesn't work. The next day, Charles Barney is found dead in his mansion, an apparent suicide. This is just the beginning. Over the next 3 weeks, 250 more banks across America will collapse. More than 1 million people will lose their life savings. Factories will shut down, and unemployment will soar. How it all started. To understand how we got here, we need to look back at what America was like before this panic hit. In 1907, the country was in the middle of an economic boom. Skyscrapers were being built, railroads were expanding, and the oil industry was booming. With all this growth, everyone needed money. Banks were lending out cash left and right. But there was a problem, the *** fractional reserve banking system, ***. Here's how it works. If you put $100 in the bank keeps $10 and loans out the other $90. Usually, this is fine because not everyone withdraws their money at once. But what happens if panic sets in? The Heine brothers' mistake. Meet the Heine brothers, Augustus and Otto. They were wealthy copper barons from Montana, and they wanted to conquer New York's banking scene. They controlled a lot of money, but their greed got the best of them. Otto had a plan to corner the market on shares of a company called United Copper. He borrowed $8 million from banks and started buying up shares. Everything was great until Otto miscalculated how many shares were available. When the price of the stock crashed, the brothers lost everything, including the $8 million of depositors' money. As news spread, people got nervous. If these wealthy bankers could fail, what about their banks? A panic started to unfold across New York. The chaos of the bank run. On October 21st, people rushed to withdraw their money from any bank they could. They crowded outside the Knickerbocker building and started withdrawing huge amounts of cash. But the bank couldn't keep up. By noon, they'd paid out $10 million and were running out of cash. The situation was desperate. Charles Barney resigned that day, and when the news hit the crowd, they went wild. The mob turned into a raging mob, screaming and pushing against the doors. Ultimately, on October 24th, Barney was found dead in his study, leaving behind a note. His tragic end only added to the panic, and soon more banks began to fail. The aftermath. In just 3 days, more than 250 banks fell. More than 1 million people lost their savings. Factories shut down, and unemployment skyrocketed. The stock market dropped 50%, and the economy seemed to be on the brink of collapse. But then, one man stepped up to save the day. John Pierpont Morgan, a powerful banker, gathered the heads of big banks to create a plan to stop the panic. They pooled resources to support each other, and Morgan assured everyone that the banking system would survive. His calm words brought some stability back, and people started returning to the banks. By acting quickly and decisively, Morgan stopped the panic, earning him the title of a national hero. But the damage was done. The panic left deep scars on the nation's economy. Lessons learned. The Panic of 1907 showed the need for reforms in America's banking system. One man's power had too much influence, and that's when the Federal Reserve System was created. This gave the U.S. a central bank to support the financial system during times of crisis. So, the next time you hear about a financial collapse, remember the story of the Panic of 1907. It's a reminder of how one mistake can lead to widespread panic and loss, and it highlights the importance of a stable banking system. Keep your eyes open and be aware of your financial situation. You never know when things might change.